Hey everyone, welcome to another Apify webinar. After some technical difficulties, we're finally live. My name is Lukas, I'm a PMM here at Apify, and today we have a very interesting session for you. We're going to take a look at how you can utilize Zapier to create some powerful workflows for scraping social media and what to do with this data. Today I have with me some amazing guests who are Zapier experts. So I'm going to quickly introduce them, and we're going to go through our demos, and we're going to tackle your questions at the Q&A in the end as well. So first of all, I have Mike Russell. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey, nice to see you.
We have Robert Benjamin, myself, and my colleague, Sameh.
Hey, guys.
All right. So first of all, we're going to take a look at Mike's demo, which will be focused, if I'm not mistaken, on how you can use Apify to monitor your social media for your brand mentions and to do some kind of a sentiment analysis and what you can do with this data. So, Mike, you can take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Lucas. Thanks for the opportunity to be here. Let's get stuck in. So I've got a couple of YouTube channels, and I also like to keep an eye on all the other YouTube channels and what they're doing, what kind of content they're making, and the sentiment of those comments. And thankfully, thanks to Apify, there are a couple of brilliant YouTube actors. One is this YouTube scraper that will essentially grab all the details of all the videos and all the metadata. You can even get transcripts, which is really cool. And then if you want to dive deeper, you can use the YouTube comment scraper. So you can literally grab all the comments from a video that's published on YouTube. This is really powerful. If you find a really big video that's blowing up in the area that you're trying to cover, in your niche, and it's maybe got 800 comments, you can grab them all and you can analyze them with AI. So how am I doing that? I am essentially making some really simple workflows that go out and do that. They mobilize Apify to do that. And then I vibe coded a couple of tools that bring it together in a nice dashboard. And one I've specifically vibe coded for this webinar so I can show it to you. But let's look at how we go about building this out. So I am here in Zapier with a Zap I've made to extract YouTube videos from any channel that I want. And I'll take you through it bit by bit just to show you exactly what's going on here, and there will be a video on my channel that will cover this in depth. But essentially, it starts with a webhook. Now, a webhook is something that can be called from anything from an app you create to start an automation in Zapier. It will then go out to Apify. It will start the Apify actor to go ahead and grab videos from any channel I choose. It then delays for a little while. So I've set here in the settings, if I look at configure, it's set to delay for 1 minute. That should be about enough for testing. Now, if you wanted to get clever in the future, you could go and create a second Zap workflow that actually triggers when the Apify actor completes. But for simplicity and for this demo, I wanted to keep everything in the same workflow. So I've gone ahead, done that. And then once it's finished, so after about a minute, it will go back to look for the dataset items. And again, I go into all this in detail in the video I've made, and then it will loop over every video it finds. So this is the powerful thing. Apify goes out, gets all the data on all the YouTube videos you want, loops through them, analyzes them using AI by Zapier. And again, if you've got a Zapier account and you're paying for it, you will have access to this AI tool. It's really, really cool. And you can see you get a bunch of different providers here. I happen to be using OpenAI, but you can use Google's Gemini as well. And many of those are actually included as part of your plan as well. So you don't have to do a separate call to OpenAI and pay for the API there. That's part of Zapier, which is great. So I'm just using GPT-5 Mini because I just need to get basic metadata and get it analyzed. Things like view counts, likes, this is all popped down. And then my prompt is that you are a YouTube video content analyst. You will analyze the video's title, description, text, and provide insights about what the video is about and give me relevant keywords my own research so I can have like a mega tool, an Uber tool to get all of the stuff. And how am I getting that data into my app? Well, I've got a database that's running on Supabase. It's basically, if you know anything about databases, it's a Postgres database, and Zapier has an integration for that. So it takes everything. We've gone from start to finish, from the trigger all the way through. Rather than talk about it a little bit more, let me show you how it works in practice. So we'll go ahead and trigger this and get this to work. You'll see over here, this is the app I've vibe coded. It's very, it actually looks more complex than it needs to be. But I just asked OpenAI Codex to make an app for me, and it kind of gave me every single metric it could ever think I'd ever need as a creator. Now, if I was making this for production or for others to use, I'd probably go ahead and refine this and make this a bit simpler. But you'll see here, what I've vibe coded is the ability to ingest using Zapier any YouTube channel. Now, I did it earlier with a couple of channels, with the Zapier channel, Creator Magic channel. I've got another channel over here, actually. This is my original channel. I'm just going to copy the URL, go over here to my vibe coded app. Now I'm going to put in that URL. Okay, that's a YouTube URL to my channel. Don't need to put any channel IDs or anything like that. Just this is fine. And then I click import channel. Now what's going on there? It says it's dispatched to Zapier and will appear in Supabase once it's ingested. Again, it's using techie words here. I would take those words away if this was a production app, but it's telling me exactly what it's done. Now, here's the powerful thing. If I go over to runs in Apify, what's happening here? It has started a crawler, and it's already started crawling videos from the YouTube channel that I fed in. You'll see it's got one result already. It's going to go through and get some more. And if we go ahead and look over here at my YouTube videos app, you will see, actually, I think that just completed that run, which is brilliant. And it did it in 26 seconds, which means my automation will work perfectly. If I go into the history here and refresh, hopefully we can see, yes, there is a delayed zap that's running. At the moment, you can see the webhook was called, the Apify actor was started, and now it's delayed. And we should see very soon, let's give it a couple of seconds, the delay should finish, maybe in 10 or so seconds. Then it's going to go back and it's going to fetch the data set. Now, if you, hopefully if you're watching an Apify webinar, you have used Apify before. You can see it found those data set items, it's looping through them, it's using Zapier's AI, and it's going to put them straight into my database. If you haven't made yourself familiar with data sets in Apify, they're super powerful. They're under the storage tab here, and you'll see anything that you grab using any Apify actor is stored here. And you'll see the latest things. So I grabbed 3 videos from my channel, top 3 Descript, Adobe's answer, first look. And if we actually look over here, you'll see, yes, those are the 3 latest videos from my channel in the data set that Zapier has grabbed and then inserted in the database of my app. This is really, really cool. Data sets is probably something for another webinar, but you can do really cool things with this. I've set it to 3 videos for testing. I can actually grab the whole channel's content. And if you look over here on this channel that I've got over just under 2,000 videos. I could set an Apify actor to grab all those videos. So think of the power here to do deep analysis, not only on your own YouTube channel, but maybe of someone else who's in your niche and you want to see why are they doing well, what videos are popular on their channel. This is really cool stuff. So if I go into my, as I've called it, overpowered YouTube intelligence dashboard and scroll down, we should see, actually I might need to refresh this app. Let's have a look. Yes, look, now Mike Russell appears there. And we can see it's pulled in my latest video here. And I can also look, I've got a growth experiment here where I can look at different videos and summon insights, but I'm going to keep it really simple for you and keep it pacey because I want to get through this, and there's a lot of really cool demos from the others on this webinar to go to. So I want to make sure I'm short and succinct. The next Zapier workflow that I'm using with another Apify actor is actually the comment scraper. And this is where the power comes. So you can see here already it's used AI to get me sort of AI highlights. These are some keywords I might think about if I wanted to make a similar video. This is the audience seconds. Again, this was generated using AI by Zapier. The category, it is indeed a review comparison video. I wouldn't have known this if I saw this in my YouTube feed, but this tool is helping me understand that. And I want to emphasize to you the power of vibe coding. You can make a tool to get exactly the data and do whatever you want with it. And then the magic summary, and it says, yes, I review 3 alternatives to Descript in this video, which is exactly what I did. So, and we've got the likes and the views and all that good stuff there. And even an SEO score. I don't know how that was generated, but AI decided it was appropriate. Now, when I click this comments, it's going to trigger my second Zapier workflow. So let's click that. It triggers a workflow over here, which is, again, by webhook. And it will go ahead. And if we look at runs, we'll see it starts a new crawler to grab the comments from the latest video on that channel. Now, this might be a bit too much information, but I'll give you a little bit of an insight here into Cursor. I vibe coded this inside Cursor. I'm actually running it now in a terminal window in Cursor, the app that you're looking at me click through. And I've also got a .env file where I'm putting my Zapier webhooks, my Superbase database, all those details, and that's how the app is running. So just as that's done, look at that. Look at how quick that was. It's got the very few comments that are on that video, but it's got them all in 10 seconds. So if we look into the history here of this Zap run, and let's just refresh and make sure, yep, here's the 8:17 run that I've just run, and we can see that's my time, by the way. I'm in LA, so it's in the morning, and we can see, yes, it's caught the hook. It started the actor. We noticed that. We know the actor is complete. And like I say, if you wanted to make this even more efficient, you might make another Zapier workflow that is triggered when an actor completes on Apify. You can absolutely do that. So this delay will then finish. It will fetch all the comments from the video. It will loop over them. And again, you'll see here, I've got another AI by Zapier to explore comment sentiment and insert that. So the original comments from the Apify actor will go in along with new sentiment scores, and those will go into a new row. So this should complete really soon. Actually, while that's working away, we can actually go back. Let's go back to the comments. Actually, yeah, let's click out of this and out of this, and we'll go into edit draft and just have a quick look. Just wanted to show you this AI step to show you exactly what I'm doing. Actually, you can see it's completed here. But if I go into configure, what I'm saying is, here's your comment, analyze and give it a ranked output based on the following criteria. I want the AI sentiment label. So is it positive, neutral, or negative? I want a score between -1 to 1, anywhere in between, so decimal points, and also toxicity, whether someone's being like negative or like really flaming me, and the topics and flags and all that good stuff. And the cool thing is, with AI by Zapier, you can actually generate output fields from the prompt you created. So this is kind of like if you've been working with OpenAI and diving into the real code of things, if you're expecting a JSON output, essentially what this is doing, this is giving you a very fixed JSON output. So when this workflow runs and I get all the comments in from my Apify actor, I can be guaranteed that every time I'm going to get a sentiment label, a score, a toxicity score, the AI topics, and the flags all created for me and inserted via Postgres back into my Superbase database. Let's go back over here, refresh it one more time, getting towards the end now. And let's see, yes, it has pulled in. So there's a couple I did here earlier. And as you can see, the comments, I'm lying, by the way, are always positive on my videos. No, they're not. This is a very small subset where actually it's positive. But if I had a video with, say, 100 comments or 1,000 comments, I would definitely see a splitting of that ring into green, red, and maybe orange for neutral. This is powerful. It even highlights comments here. And there's just so much I can do with this. I can go back to Cursor and I can say, okay, that's great. Can you break down, what people wanted to see in this video that wasn't covered, so I could maybe make a better video based on what the comments are saying. So you can see how this is super powerful. I think I'm just about coming up on time, but I wanted to show you one more thing that I think is really cool, because I'm just absolutely just blown away by some of the actors on Apify. But not only that, I think, and I've been playing with this a lot, is the real power is actually creating your own actor. And I did this very quickly. I spun up an actor that can get me YouTube auto suggestions. So that's when you type into the search bar something like Apify. Let's try and type properly, Apify, and look at that. Yeah, we get all the different like Apify things that come up there. So those are obviously the kind of videos that people are searching for related to Apify. Now over here, I've vibe coded a slightly tidier app, and if I type in Apify here and add the keyword, again, it's actually going to trigger this to run an Apify actor, and I hope this works on the live thing. Yes, it did. It ran very quickly. So what this Apify actor did, and if we actually look into this actual run here, let's have a look around. Oh yes, 14 items. Now if I click that, look, you'll see all the suggestions here are exactly the same as what pops up in YouTube auto suggest. That's really cool. And then over here, it's pulled them all in. But the coolest thing is when you're vibe coding, you can make this run on a schedule. Zapier has the ability to schedule things to run every hour, every day. So essentially, these are all new entries. But over time, I can call these auto suggestions again and again, and I can see how they change over time. So if something is really popping up around a topic I'm interested in, for instance, OpenAI, the Atlas browser was launched last week, I would see that rising up in the chart of auto suggestions inside my vibe coded app there. So just something that I'm using my own Apify actor for that I created. I think there are other auto suggest actors in the store, so go and check them. You can use mine. Mine is actually live as well in the Apify store under Creator Magic. Go and test it out. Just want to encourage you to really do whatever you can with this stuff because it's really, really cool stuff. Combination of Zapier, Apify, and a bit of vibe coding. And I think you can get any data you want and crunch it any way you want. And with AI, you can have superpowers. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope you guys will take something from this.
All right. Wow. This is really amazing, Mike. This really just goes to show you like what you can do with all of these AI tools and with the power of no code. And I mean, you don't come from like any technical background, right? You just have the mentality of I'm going to figure this out, and you're able to create these pretty amazing tools. Okay, awesome. So let's switch over to Rob. Who's gonna show us how he catches viral trends and kind of like reverse engineers them so he can grow his own accounts on social media.
I'm not sure Lukas is here, so maybe it's over to Rob.
Awesome. Sounds good. Mike, thanks so much for that. That was awesome. So I'm going to be showing you guys something very similar, except for Instagram and TikTok. Now, what I did was over the last 2 months, actually started a brand new Instagram. This account had 0 followers just like 50 days ago. And as you can see here, it's now got over 59,000 followers. I went viral on this post, viral on this post, viral on this post, viral on this post. And that is all thanks to Zapier and Apify. In addition to that, I repeated the same exact thing on TikTok. So I've had this account for about 60 days. Again, brand new account. I have gone viral on it several times, in the millions, several times, hundreds of thousands, very consistently on this account. And I'm doing something very similar to what Mike just showed you guys. So if I come over here into Zapier, we could see that I have actually built this out. So this runs on a schedule because I want to see this every day. But what this does is every day at 9 a.m., it goes through and it runs a specific task on Zapier. Now, on Apify. Now, the reason that I have this set up as a task is because if we click into this, we can see what this is going to be doing is scraping a bunch of my competitors on TikTok. And the way that I have this set up is that it is relative 3 days, so that this can run every single day without me having to adjust this or without me having to adjust this publish date right here. Because essentially what I'm trying to do, and this is what will really allow you to grow on TikTok, Instagram, a lot of the social media platforms right now, is all these platforms' algorithms work in an interest-based way. All that means is that each topic that you can potentially post about has an interest size, and that is constantly changing every day. I mean, it's constantly changing every second, but I try to look at it on a day-by-day basis. To explain that a little bit further, essentially what happens is, let's say that you were going to wake up and you were going to post a video about cats or post a video about dogs. There's a certain amount of people that are interested in each of those every day, and the same exact thing happens inside of your niche. For example, I upload a lot of content on Instagram, on TikTok about Gemini, about X, about ChatGPT, about Grok, about all these different platforms. And essentially what I'm trying to do is, if I can only post 1 or 2 videos a day, I want to make sure that I'm doing that on the highest interest topic. So this right here comes over and hits this run task right here. Then I have a delay. I set my delay for 1 minute. Depending on how long your runs take, you might have to change this. So we could see right here that this run that just activated took 44 seconds. So having this pause for 1 minute is going to be perfectly fine. But if I was running a run like what I do with YouTube sometimes in order to scrape transcripts, we could see that this took 5 minutes. So if you were to put this inside of Zapier, you would need to make sure that the delay is going to be much longer in order to accommodate for that. But you could just check this really easily inside of the runs when you're going through and testing and building this out. Now, from here, what this is going to do is this is going to then grab all the information that we got in that. So what this is going to do is grab all the information that we got in that latest run right there. And essentially what this looks like is this is going to be this JSON. Now, this went through all of this. Sorry, if we come over to runs, we can see what this looks like in results. And this is going to be a JSON. So essentially what's getting passed along is the play count, the URL, and any other data that we wanted to actually get passed along there. And then that is going into AI by Zapier. This is going through, similar to Mike, I just use ChatGPT for this. If you were doing other things, you might want to try using Gemini, or you might want to try using a Claude model. But for my use case, ChatGPT works perfectly fine. I then have another delay as this goes through and analyzes this, and then I get an email sent to me. Now, this is essentially what that email looks like right here. Is this says, please find below all the videos from your niche that have gotten over 10,000 views and were published in the last 72 hours. You would want to configure this and set this up in a way that is going to be for your niche. So not every niche is equal. If you're uploading about something that not that many people are interested in, you might want to see posts that are over 1,000 views or over 2,000 views or over 1 million views in some niches. But for my niche in particular, I'm just looking for videos that have gotten over 10,000 views. And then what I do from here is I could click directly into these videos and I can see exactly what the topic of the video is. And then I'm also using AI in order to generate more content for that. Now, I have several different ways of doing this. There are several different ways that you could do this. So I just wanted to walk through a few of them. One thing that you could do right here is you could actually set up the filter inside of here, and you could get this to then generate a hook for your content, a script for your content, all inside of Zapier. Now, as you can see right here, I do get several different options, and I do want to have some control over what kind of content I'm going to be creating. So I do have a human in the loop in this step where I go through each of these. And let's say this video right here, although it got the most amount of views, hey, I don't want to make a video about this topic. That's totally fine. I would then go to one of the other videos. But essentially what I'm trying to do is figure out a topic that is doing really well in my niche. And then from there, there are several different things that you could do here. For example, you could set up a ChatGPT project very easily. I have this one set up for YouTube where I've uploaded a bunch of different outlines, the way that I script my content. I also gave this just some very simple project instructions. I found that the more simple it is, the better in my specific use case. And then what I could do is come over here. I just put in the title of my video, the topics I'm going to talk about, and I get a perfect script or a perfect outline in the way that I like to create my YouTube content. In addition to that, I also vibe coded a tool here, contentbuddy.ai, that basically does the same exact thing for TikTok and for Instagram, where you could go through and get a caption, you could get a viral hook, you could get the hashtags, viral script writer, and you could even upload your content that you've already created in here, and it will actually give you feedback. Now, if we click into each of these, essentially what this is ChatGPT wrapper, where I control the instructions and the knowledge base, and other people don't have access to that. But like I said, you could do the same exact thing inside of Zapier here if you wanted less control and you were just mass creating content. That's how I would go about doing this. If you want a human in the loop, then I would go about building it in a way that's a little bit more customizable to you. Now, in addition to doing this for TikTok, I did the same exact thing for Instagram. So if we come over here, we can pull up my Zaps and we could see that the Instagram one looks almost identical. I literally just copy and pasted it, except I changed it to hit the Instagram actor each time. So if we come over here, we can see this run task. This is going to be hitting this Instagram scraper. If we come back over here, and I come into my save tasks, we could see that it's doing the same exact thing for Instagram here that it was doing for TikTok. Now, one other thing that I really did want to highlight, I have been uploading about TikTok, I've been uploading about Instagram, how to grow on these platforms for the last last 6 years on YouTube. This was not possible until very recently because of Apify and because of Zapier. So I just wanted to give a huge shout out, a huge thanks to both of them, because it's made my life 100 times easier. It's made getting views on social media 100 times easier. In addition to that, something that is really cool is you can actually have this, similar to what Mike was showing, power things in the back end. So again, with this tool that I vibe coded here, what people can do is they can come over here, insert what platforms they want to receive trends for, their niche, their target audience, the content style. Then essentially what happens is this all gets fed into another Zapier that I have, and it uses Apify in the background, and then it makes it way easier for my team to keep our clients up to date on exactly what is trending. And I believe that is all that I had.
All right. Awesome. Thank you guys for amazing demos. I think this really just goes to show you how you can utilize the power of no code and vibe coding to create something amazing, even if you don't have any technical background. And I'm sure both of you guys, you're not like developers or anything. You just have a mindset of, I'm just going to figure this out, right?
Definitely not a developer.
I'm a copy-paste developer. I used to copy things from Stack Overflow and try and make them work, and they didn't. And then vibe coding came, and now I'm overpowered.
Yeah, same here. One thing that I would add on also, because I get a lot of questions about this. So building out that tool, I had to prompt this. Maybe I'm not the best at prompting, but I had to prompt it 139 different times for it to work correctly. So I wouldn't get discouraged if you're 1 or 2 prompts in and something isn't working correctly. I wouldn't throw in the towel then.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, amazing. How long would you say that this take you, in each of your cases? Like, how much time and effort did you put into creating this workflow and the whole front end for it?
30 minutes. It didn't take very long, but again, the long part was the 6 years from 2019 to 2025 that I had this idea and could never actually pull it off until Apify and Zapier.
Yep. Yeah. I was going to say the same as Rob. Yeah, about under the hour to get it all vibe coded and like to a state that I wanted to use. But like Rob says, it's the experience over the years that kind of gives you that the base knowledge to be able to work. It helps if you know a few things so you can glue the right pieces together to make them work. But like Rob says, don't be discouraged if you prompt it doesn't come out exactly right, because you can prompt and reprompt until you finally get what you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. All right, so like you guys said, you're going to be publishing both of these demos as a separate videos on your YouTube channel, so definitely look out for that. And right now we're going to switch over to my screen, and I'm going to show you guys what I've prepared here. Okay, we're having some technical difficulties again, so let me try share my screen again. All right, Everything should be good. Okay, guys. So my demo is a lot simpler, and I've utilized the power of just Zapier, and there's no vibe coding on top. And I've combined 3 Zapier features, which is classic Zap workflows, the Zapier agents, and Zapier tables. So this particular use case is focused on discovering influencers in your niche. So let's say you're an agency who works with direct-to-consumer brands, and you're looking for channels with which to promote your products, or you might be some kind of a other, or you might be the D2C brand yourself, and you're looking for influencers through which to sell your product. So you can utilize the power of these Apify Instagram scrapers to search for, you can perform a broad search of the topic you're interested in, and then focus on the specific profiles, and trying to like extract as much information around these people as possible to see if they are relevant or not. So let's take a look at it. I'm basically starting off my workflow by posting a message to a private Slack channel. It really doesn't matter how you're going to do this. You can even start this from this Apify itself and connect it to Zapier with a simple webhook. But let's say I'm searching for something like yoga teachers. So I'm going to run this Instagram search scraper, have it extract this one. I think uses also like native Instagram search as well as Facebook search, and even on the back end it might be using Google search with a site operator to extract these relevant profiles. Then it also looks at which other profiles do these people mention or are tagged in their posts. So it extracts this pretty wide web of different profiles around your topic. Then it consolidates every one of these profiles into just one array, which is then run in this Zapier workflow with this another step where, as you can see, here I have all the Instagram usernames nicely separated. So this one is using this Instagram scraper that pulls all of the details on these Instagram profiles, their latest posts, how many followers do they have, their bios, external links from their bios, and other stuff like that. Okay. Hold on, let me share my screen again. All good? Okay. And after it fetches the dataset from Apify, it then performs this looping and basically goes through each record, filters them out based on these simple conditions. So I'm only interested in Instagram profiles that have their bio filled out, that have followers that are greater than 1,000, and that are not private, and that include some kind of a link in their bio. So I think these are like a fairly good signals to determine if this profile would be someone who might be interested in doing some kind of a business, right? So I'll basically filter all the junk out, and then I have them populated inside this Zapier table. So as you can see here, I have all the different yoga teachers. I, of course, have their profile link, the username, full name, their bio, the external URLs, which are important for some other steps. I can see some basic data on their profile, like number of followers, the number of people who they follow, number of posts, captions on their latest posts, hashtags on their latest posts, if the profile is verified, if it's a business account. Here I have this basically AI-powered field created in Zapier, which you can do so like this. And this is just prompted in a way to look at the follower count and do a basic categorization of these influencers into several different categories. So here you can see if the number of followers is below 10,000, it's a nano influencer. If it's a 10,000 to 100,000, it's a micro influencer, and so on and so forth. After that, it also extracts the business category if it's filled out. So you can see if it's a business account, it should have this information filled out, which could be quite useful. And to be absolutely sure that these people are relevant, I need to perform some kind of a classification to look at this data and see, okay, so does this person really match up with the topic I was searching for, right? So for this, I'm triggering a very simple Zapier agent on the background, which gets triggered every time there's a new record in this table. And its task is to look at all of these different fields and to evaluate the information in these fields against some kind of an internal rubric that looks at the original search term and determines on a scale of 0 to 100 if this person is relevant or not, and returns this inside this field right here. So here I have just a few simple data sets. I've tried this for a yoga teacher, for fitness coaches, and also I think I might still have some workflow running in the background right now for some other search term. So this is, I think, pretty useful, and just shows you how you can like chain multiple Apify actors together with a very simple Zapier workflow that takes about an hour to set up, and you have a pretty solid data pipeline for discovering new influencers and promoting your products through them. And of course, you could layer a bunch of other stuff on top of this. For example, here we have this pretty powerful contact details scraper actor on our store. So you could set up a new workflow that gets triggered each time a record here is determined to be relevant. And you could take this external URL from this table and have it run through this scraper that basically crawls the site and looks if there are any other social media profiles to be found there, and also if there are any emails or telephone numbers that could be found on this website. And you could populate this table with this additional data to have even a richer data set, right? And after this, you could potentially do even some kind of automated outreach to these influencers based on your product. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my side. Like I said, not as exciting as what Rob and Mike was showing here before, but I think you can find a lot of value in these pretty simple workflows. So let's move on and continue now with my colleague Sameh, who has some MCP and agent stuff prepared for you guys.
All right, hey guys, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, always good.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Lukas. So as Lukas mentioned, I will show you some MCP stuff. Yeah, so it's a lot simpler, obviously, than what Mike and everyone is showing, but I think it's a great way to kind of test some of the actors that we have. So for this particular use case, this is a popular use case that a lot of social media companies come to us, or even other agencies and other companies. And basically, it's the use case where you are trying to scrape a social media profile and create a presentation out of it. And in many cases, you want to actually automate that process, right? So this is this is a time when a social media company might prospect for new clients. So you're actually trying to create a prospecting sequence where you're sending these presentations to clients about their own social media presence and how you can improve it. Or this might be the case where you're actually, you're a marketing department and you're reporting the rest of the, either to management or to the rest of the organization regarding your social media presence on a week-on-week basis. And the way you can do it with MCP and Apify is I put it on 4 distinct steps. First, you really choose your use case in terms of like what channels you want to start to monitor, and there's a lot of social media actors. So my recommendation is to actually really be specific in the use case and the planning phase, right? Because even when it comes to something like Instagram, there's reels, there's posts, there's profiles. So it's really good to be specific at this first phase. Then what you want to do is actually go to mcp.apify.com, right, to generate your URL. So when you go to mcp.apify.com, you have all of the 7,000 and increasing actors every day that you can use. So you would, search through those actors, pick whatever actor that you need, and when you do save your changes, you will generate a URL for your actor. My recommendation here is to choose as little actors as you really need. So here in this case, because the use case is let's scrape some social media accounts and let's create a presentation out of it, right? So there is actually an MCP server for that. It's called SlideSpeak. We do also have another MCP server for Gamma. So Gamma is it's an actor, but it's using the Gamma API. So if you have a Gamma account, you can also use that. So basically, there are multiple, obviously, actors that you can use for social media scraping, but there's also multiple actors that you can actually use to generate presentations. Again, my recommendation is to start small and then add more actors as you build out your prompt. And over here, I would recommend for if you need to add some additional tools here, I would definitely, if you're looking to kind of scale this up with Zapier agents, is to kind of add this get data set items and get data set. This is especially essential if you're going to use the MCP server on a production grade level. What you do is you will get this URL, you just copy that URL, and the third step of the process is, of course, to test on Claude Desktop. I really stress like this is the best way to do it. If you start testing on Zapier or any other tool using MCP, it will take you a long time. There will be a lot of throttling issues. Claude Desktop is still kind of the gold standard when it comes to MCP. So the best way to do this is, of course, simply just go to Claude and install the server that you used from the URL that you used on mcp.apify.com. So that's what I did here. For example, I would just go to settings. Once you go to the settings, you can go to connectors here, and you can basically, so in my case, I need to go to admin settings, and I can add a connector over here. Just add a custom connector, put your URL, save, and then you will have it as a tool that you can use inside Claude Desktop. And for example, this is one of the prompts that I did right before. I used the actual social media MCP, so I copied an URL from that. And the first thing that, the prompt that I did was, of course, use this site operator, right? What Lukas was talking about is quite essential, quite effective too. So if you put site at whatever social media you want, put the brand name, for example, in this case, Zapier, it will actually find the account pretty accurately most of the time. Then it takes that information, plugs it into the actual, in this case, or Twitter scraper. It then generates, all this data from the Twitter scraper, and then it uses the tool that we spoke about, SlideSpeak MCP, and creates this presentation. And once you're done kind of experimenting with that, then you can just go back to the actual Zapier agents. You can find them over here. Just click on the Zapier agents, and you will actually get that same prompt that you used on Claude Desktop. And then you can obviously start to, also test it here. There's a preview function here, and over here, you can see that it's actually, basically using the actors that you chose, is going through and scraping the social media account and then creating the presentation. Right now, the MCP is still kind of one of the issues that it has. It does throttle. So for example, right before this webinar, having some connection issue with, but over time, I think its performance will increase, and it is still the easiest way to really, let's say, test hundreds of actors at a time. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what the community can create with our MCP server.
Okay, amazing. Thank you, Sameh. All right, can you hear me, guys? No, I have my mic. No, ja mam wypnięty mikrofon. I'm sorry, I had my mic turned off. This stream is riddled with technical difficulties, but I think we can make it through.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sameh. That was very cool. And like you said, my experience with our MCP is very similar. It's very useful for discovering like all the different actors and testing them on the fly to see like which would be ideal for your use case. And I think, Mike, if I'm not mistaken, you also have quite a bit of experience with our MCP. So can you maybe talk a little bit about that, on how you've been using it and what you've been finding interesting about it?
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. And I love the fact that obviously you can give it access to pretty much any actor inside the Apify store, but also you can restrict it down and say, okay, only use this one, only use, for instance, in my case, the YouTube actor. And then the best thing is you can get something like a Zapier agent to decide which tool it's going to use. So you can keep the instructions really broad and you can say, I want you to achieve this goal. For those that maybe haven't used MCP so much, it's like basically giving someone a tool with a bunch of ways you can use it, and then the AI decides in a very human way how to use that tool. So I might say, here is the Apify YouTube comment scraper and YouTube scraper. I want you to find me a way to get all the comments and also download the transcript, analyze the transcript, tell me what was said, tell me, what people liked and what people didn't like. Again, yeah, literally with the Zapier agent and like the Apify MCP, you can almost vibe code with those tools alone, your own kind of actor to do whatever you want. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, amazing. Well, what about you, Rob? Have you been playing around with our MCP as well, or how's it looking on your side?
I haven't played around with it as much yet. Yeah, not as much as Mike.
Okay, awesome. So would you guys say that you are using Zapier for a lot of these different automations for different use cases as well, other than what you showed here on the stream?
Yeah, I monitor like a ton of channels, and actually like one of the best things is Zapier has the ability to monitor a YouTube channel the moment it publishes a video. So if that's important to you, you can get it to monitor. Like I saw Rob gave a really great demo earlier where he was like, I've got this list of everyone I want to monitor. Essentially, you could make zaps for all those channels you want to keep an eye on, and you can have it basically trigger the moment the channel publishes the video. So if like time is critical to you, and I'll give you an example for me where that might be interesting. Say, for instance, I'm watching Rob's channel and Rob publishes a video. I can immediately note that he's done that, and then 6 hours later, so I can put a delay of 6 hours on that zap and say 6 hours later, I want you to look at Rob's stats and tell me like what is his view count, and then over time I can build up a spreadsheet of Rob's channel and say how do his videos usually do over 6 hours, and then I can start to find Rob's outliers using something like that. So the power is unlimited. I think it's just how much can you think you want to do.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. What about you, Rob? What other interesting workflows are you working with Zapier right now?
Absolutely, yeah. So I use Zapier for a lot. I was actually just looking. I built out 29 things in October. So essentially, what I try to do every day is chip away at something, either for myself or I run a community with a bunch of business owners in it that are all trying to automate things. And Zapier is always what I recommend that they use, because with other tools, what I found is like they just don't have the integrations, or they might have an integration, but a trigger that you want, they don't have, or something along the lines of that. I found that it has like, I'm often like very, very surprised. I'm like, wow, I've never heard of this tool before that this client needs something for, and it's in here.
Yeah, yeah. Now, when it comes to discovering new tools on Zapier, I think, Mike, you also like built your own scraper on Apify to scrape through Zapier apps to see what's new on the horizon, right? What you could be testing out and using.
That's exactly right. Yeah, because Zapier uses basically to present their apps, they use an internal API. So it's very easy to say, show me latest, show me popular, show me this, show me that. And it's super helpful for me as a creator who wants to make Zapier workflows, or maybe talk about some workflows, or come up with new ideas. I can very quickly make a spreadsheet of the latest additions and then think about how I can use them. So maybe next I'll make an actor to scrape the Apify Actor store and find the best actors. That'd be really meta, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you can most certainly do that, but I'm afraid there's one already, and it's I think it's actually developed by us. Is it right, Sameh?
Yeah, there is one already.
It's
and
good.
of
I don't
course,
need to do the work.
yeah. The MCP itself is the fetch actors or search actors is also is directly connected to all the kind of like the actor directory and readmes that are already on Apify. So it's a bit redundant, I think.
That's cool. And the really good thing is you guys make all of your actors that are available in the store available as a markdown. So if you go to any actor you like on Apify, you just put .md at the end, it comes as a flat file. And that's great if your vibe coding is, as we've mentioned earlier, you can just feed it to Codex, feed it to Claude Code and say, look at this actor, look at how the data is outputted. And that's what I did when I made the YouTube tool. I said, this is the tool I'm using. This is how it outputs data. You decide how you want to present that data. And obviously it wasn't beautiful, but if I worked and, did a bit more work, I could really make it look great. And like Rob says, it takes a few prompts to dial it in. The AI is probably going to go crazy at first and like make you a really geeky page with too much information. And then you have to say, no, actually, I only want to see this, this, and this. This is really important to me. And the best thing is you can rip it up anytime and change anything. That's the whole idea of vibe coding. But yeah, you definitely make it easy with those markdown files. So yeah.
Another thing that I would say in terms of using Zapier, again, like Mike was kind of saying, I would look at it as an iterative process, and you really need to understand what you want to do. What I found is a lot of people don't actually understand what they want. They know very broadly what they want. Like, for example, I was helping somebody build out an automation the other day, and they said, oh, I want to automate creative briefs. And I was like, well, what does that mean? What you actually want to do are like these 18 steps that require these 4 tools, and you need to pass things along each time. So I think for especially a lot of beginners, like thinking about that from the get-go, that really is the work, as opposed to just like coming to Zapier, or even going into Apify and like figuring out, what you can actually do. That is the work, figuring it out up front, as opposed to being hands on the keyboard.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I think the planning phase is where a lot of people don't spend enough time. So the planning and the actual ROI phase. And by that, I mean, like, I think what we see also are a lot of people creating automations, but those automations from, a maintenance point of view become actually, there's more of a time investment than if you had just done it manually. So I think the planning and kind of the ROI phase are quite critical.
Yeah, I completely agree. It definitely pays to, like when you were looking at a use case, it pays to do everything manually first, like go through the whole workflow that you're trying to automate, do everything manually, sketch it out on paper, connect all of the different dots, and only after then you can start setting things up in Zapier and Apify. Okay, so guys, thank you very much. This has been really awesome. I think we can kind of wrap things up right now. I definitely want to reiterate that Zapier is a very powerful tool and very easy to get started with. And we actually have a lot of workflows running on Zapier, even here at Apify internally for different departments. And I think Revenue Ops is using Zapier pretty heavily. We have some content stuff automated with Zapier as well. And yeah, out of all these different automation tools, I think it's probably like the most intuitive and easy to get started with. So I definitely encourage you to check it out and use our integration. So if you could share my screen, Philip. So we're going to be sharing all of the templates that have been presented in these demos with you guys. So if you go at apify.it/Zapier-webinar and drop us your email, you're going to get all of these templates so that you can plug them in and edit them and work with them in your own business. And of course, if you're a new user to Apify, you can also utilize this coupon code that will give you 20% off for 3 months. And all good. Okay, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you want to check out Mike's stuff, he can be found at Creator Magic AI on YouTube. And you can find Rob on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as Rob the AI Guy. And on YouTube, he can be found as Real Rob the AI Guy. So definitely check these guys out. Like I said earlier, they will have both of their demos up on YouTube in a few days. So you can always replay this webinar as well to go slowly at your own pace and see how you can set these things up. So thank you once again, guys. It was awesome, and I will look forward to working with you again. Bye, everyone.
Awesome. Good to see you guys.
Thank you.